You're probably nodding your head and going, "Yep, I know exactly what the hell that is." It was bad.
That's come. Hello, you fucks. Welcome to John Solo's Beer Brigade. I'm John Solo. You are not. I didn't do a damned thing to the ticker, and this is because I really haven't done much work over the course of the last week. I've been out for kind of personal things, and there we go. Can everybody see me and hear me? I just got a weird notice from Facebook there a second ago. I think that they did not like the pre-programmed music that we had coming on beforehand. Please put a notice in the comments there if you can. Excellent. I see you. Great. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Maybe we're going to have to lean away from some of the content that we've done in here. They didn't seem to like that. So we're recording all the same. Anyways, I have not done much. I'm about to start again tonight and get back into Mingo, which is going to be freaking awesome. I feel relaxed. I feel great. I've been in the forest today. I worked out. I've got a smile on my face, and I've got a good friend that's coming here in a bit. He's back there right now. It's going to be freaking awesome. So, other than that, we got the typical rambling coming up on Thursday. And yeah, I missed y'all. I love you great. I'm going to bring on my friend here. We were chatting earlier, and I just can't wait to see what he's been up to, man. I haven't seen him in a while. Without any more from me, I give you James Cheatham. Hello, sir. How the hell are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm fine, man. I've had a weird month, weird 2 months somewhere in there. How about you? But see, I want to know what you've been up to, man. I see you occasionally. You pop in here and there when I'm working.
Yeah.
What's everything?
Well, first, a little bit of admin note. Chatham isn't
It's
right.
completely wrong.
Way off, like Samsonite. The best way I can tell people to remember how to pronounce my name is
Cheatham.
if you
You told me
can't
that the
beat him,
last time.
cheat him.
You told me that the last time. I just fucking call you James and try to remember not to say Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voice of James. Welcome. Sorry about that,
That is
dude.
I.
Yep. Maybe I should call you Griswold, except I can't see you as Griswold. I don't know. There's something about that. I like to call you James. So, but I know you're getting a ton of work with it. And you said that you are, in fact.
Yes. Yeah, like we mentioned backstage, I am actually swamped with work. I'm actually a little bit behind. Um, to give you an idea of what my week looks like, we need to go back 2 weeks to where I had like this kind of thought idea, good idea fairy pop me on the noggin, whatever you want to call it. And I said, what if I interviewed narrators for my podcast, but a different narrator each day of the month for June is audiobook month. So I said, you know what? Why not? So I put out a shout on Facebook, and within the first 10 minutes, I had 15 narrators respond, say, yeah, this is a mighty fine idea. Here's my email. And by the end of the day, I had like 34 people in total respond and went, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Crap. Okay. I'll get back to you after I come back from vacation, which was last week. Went to go see some great friends. Now we're back, refreshed, rested, ready to rock. And I spent literally all morning composing the email to all 33 people, well, 34 ish, who responded, said, hey, this is the idea that I've got. I want to interview each and every single one of you once per day, looking like 5 to 10 minutes kind of thing. And they're like, yeah, this is exciting. Sign me up for this day or sign me up for this day. And all the while, I have an audiobook to finish. I have a second audiobook to finish. I have another one to start later on this week. And then I have, actually, that takes care of this week. Starting next week, I've got more recordings for the podcast episode. And then I've got to reach out to potential new authors, which should book me out past September once they say yes. But as it stands right now, pun intended, I'm booked out until the first week of July.
Dude, you are slamming it. You're killing it. I was just saying off air, and I think it's worth saying on air that dude, I'm proud of you. A couple of years ago, you basically were just coming in and you were like, how do I get work? And a couple of years later, like, you are fucking slamming it, dude. I mean, just slamming it, killing it. Congratulations. How's the pub work? Are you doing any of that?
Yeah, I am consistently getting work from Tantor, which is great. I have been in contact with, Gina from Podium,
Mhm.
and she's on the lookout for work for me, but haven't heard anything yet, not even so much as an audition, but I get it. I mean, you can even watch their social media feed. They are cranking out new material left and right. Those guys are crazy busy.
Mhm.
So, me as, brand new, coming into the Podium world, they're not gonna go with me yet, and I understand that. They wanna go with someone, reliable, a veteran, and they don't wanna have to go through the time it takes to go through the initiation, the new paperwork, all of that stuff, because that takes time and money, something that they can't afford to dedicate to right now. So I totally get that.
Are
But other
they
than that, I'm getting work from Tantor, AudioFlow, getting work from, Blackstone Publishing.
Mhm.
Love those folks over there. Jessie is a rock star at what she does. I don't care what the Super Bowl commercial says.
Nice. You are killing it, my friend. You're going a lot further than me. I do some work for Podium, but I do not work for Blackstone at all. And Gina at Podium is freaking everybody over there is awesome.
Yeah,
Um, uh,
fantastic people.
yeah, yeah, and it did take a long time. They did approach me, and I was more than happy. But it was Gina. She's the greatest. I love her. I've never met her in person. I really need to. Have you ever done that? The big event in New York. That event, the
I
actors.
wanted to, but, wasn't able to go. I did do the virtual one during the
Mhm.
whole COVID stuff, and that was cool, but it's just not the same as, being in person.
Yeah.
I am doing, an in-person event where actually my wife and I get to go. It's the Audiobooks at Sea cruise, next year in April, I think?
Nice.
Yeah,
Where?
but, it's like a 5-night, 6-day cruise leaving out of Miami. We're going to the Bahamas, we're going to Cozumel, Mexico, and then coming back to Florida.
Dude, that sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pleasure cruise and a business cruise at the same time because 'cause they're offering, like, in-person one-on-one audiobook, narration coaching.
I think that you should perhaps you're not too far off of actually teaching people at this point. I think James, you're killing it. Tell me more about the podcast. These 34. How many days are you giving yourself to get all these guests? Are you lining them up? I mean, is it like a train? I've heard of those things before. Please tell me more.
Well, your definition of train and mine are vastly different, good sir.
Right, right. I understand. We're not talking about a band, by the way. Anyways, go ahead.
No, 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 no. No, the way it works is that my podcast is through Anchor, which is now known as Spotify podcasts. And I've got the ability to record literally whenever I want, and I can schedule release dates as such. So let's say I can have people recording episodes, 3 or 4 people on one day, but have them slotted, okay, your episode's coming out this day, your episode's coming out this day, etc.
Okay.
The name of the podcast is called You Know What I Love, and I originally started it last year as something to talk about other than what all voiceover artists and audiobook narrators talk about is, their business, which I get. It's a great way to, publicize what you're doing. It's a great marketing tool. It's awesome. But a secondary reason is that I want to steer away from the complaining because there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of negative garbage on social media as well as hell, you turn on the local news and all you're going to get is like 95% negative stuff. It's like, no, screw that. We're going to talk about things that make us happy, things that we strive for, things that we look forward to at the end of the day, at the end of the week. You want to talk about beer? Awesome. I'd love to talk to you about that. You want to talk about baking cakes? Come at me. I'm a baker as well. Let's talk about sweet treats. That kind of thing. Like my latest episode prior to the teaser talking about June as audiobook month is with my youngest daughter. We talked about animals for like 25 minutes. It was great.
That is fantastic, dude. I really want to check this out. I'm sure someone in the crowd is going to link it at some point here, but for sure on YouTube as well. We should have it in the comments below. Please, by all means, check it out. Now, tell me, what do you do on the weekends other than bake?
Oh, I ride my motorcycle, weather pending, which is a 2002 Honda Shadow Sabre. It's a 1100 cc engine, which is actually my first ever motorcycle I've ever owned. And some people are like, "Oh my gosh, that's such a large bike." I'm like, "Well, I'm kind of a large man. I'm 6'4" and 260 pounds. I'm pretty sure I can handle that. It's gonna be okay." Love going riding. One of my favorite outdoor activities is playing disc golf. One of the best free sports I've ever played in my entire life. I've got about 3 to 4 courses within about a 30-minute drive each. Love getting out there. Other than that, I'm a big Dungeons& and Dragons nerd. I've been playing since I was 17. I am a very proficient DM at that game, as well as other spin-offs like Pathfinder and stuff like that. I'm actually now proud to say that my kids, I got a set of twins that are 13. My oldest, who's 18, she's grown, graduated, moved out, doing her own thing. Super proud of her. But my twins and my youngest daughter, who will be 12 in August, they have their first ever created characters in Pathfinder, and it is a wonderful tool, um, to get them off of screens. I don't want them on their, phones or laptops or Kindles, except, like, on the weekends. Monday through Thursday, your time is with me. You're either gonna be reading books or we're gonna go on a campaign together, whether you wanna slay goblins, ogres, or if you wanna jump down the mouth of a dragon. That's fine, I got you. So I've been building miniatures, I've been building, these kinda houses out of, like, print and stick things on cardboard, constructing my own stuff. It's pretty cool.
Dude, that is awesome. All right, I got to dive in because I got a bunch to say. First off,
Do it.
the whole D&D thing, we got to go down that rabbit hole for a second. We were playing D&D, and unfortunately, with the whole open license deal fiasco a few months ago, because one of my brothers wants to make content and he is our GM, we switched to Pathfinder, which is the first we played. Now, mind you, we're playing 5e for the first time like a year
Mhm.
ago, so I really wasn't that experienced with it, but it is a good system. I got to say, 5e is a great system. It's super easy. So we switched over to Pathfinder. I don't know. We've been playing it for 3 months. I think Jody'd have to tell me for sure. 3 months or so, somewhere in there. It's fun.
Okay.
It is a bit more math heavy. I will say that.
That it is.
Faux show. The fact that your kids are into it, though, is fan freaking tastic. Do you get to play at all, or are you just simply GM at this point?
I'm simply GM at this point. Matter of fact, when we were on vacation with our friends, I pitched it to my buddy. I said, "Hey, this is what I've been doing with my kids. Would you mind if I brought all of my materials with me so that way your kids can play as well?" He goes, "Dude, anything you can do to get my kids less screen time, I'm in favor of." I went, "I got you."
That's awesome.
So I spent probably the first 2 days of vacation drawing up, the encounters, the dungeon maps, who they're gonna fight, all that fun stuff, and they loved it. They knocked it out of the park. Now, mind you, being a GM for 7 kids is crazy.
Seven kid, Jesus,
7 kids.
that's a big party for adults, my friend. Let alone
I
children.
know,
Wow.
I know.
How much did you? I mean, how much did you drink, partake, shoot? I mean, how did you get through that experience? Please.
There was plenty of adult time afterwards.
Yeah, I'm just saying how good for you, man. I can see no other way through that. Good
Yeah.
job.
We definitely relaxed and then wound down by watching epic rap battles of history on YouTube, which is always good for a laugh.
Oh, that's fantastic. The bike, man. You got to tell me about that. Now that we're starting to get some warm weather here, at least
Okay.
here, I think. We've been taking the Jeeps out. Where are you taking your bike currently? Are you getting any time at all?
I am. There are fantastic open highways literally within 2 minutes from my house. I can take a state highway north and ride it all the way up until, like, the next big town. Because 'Cause I'm here in the Midwest in Iowa, and the city I live in is the 2nd largest in the state with a population of 160,000.
That's not the largest city by any. Now, what's your favorite kind of? Do you like country road? Do you like state highway? What's your favorite kind of thing to ride?
I like, um so far I've really enjoyed country roads that are paved, especially the ones that are nice and windy. So you can come up through like woods, or you're coming across roads that have like some mountain terrain to them, or like roads that have been cut through a mountain. Those are
Mhm.
gorgeous.
Fuck yeah. That's we seek them out.
Oh yeah.
We've got a camping trip that we've got to schedule here coming up ourselves. I haven't been camping in a while. It's I need the nature time. We've been going down to the park. We have a local. It's like a hidden gem, and it's not even 2 miles from me. It's the most gorgeous little plot of land, like just in Ohio, dropped right, and no one really knows about it. It typically you might see one car there. It's freaking awesome, and it's
Nice.
a nice creek. It's got a cliffside, a drop off a ravine kind of thing. There's a gorgeous hiking trail. We've got a reservoir on the other side of it with a bunch of water. It's freaking gorgeous. So
Nice.
we go down
Now I
there a
will
ton.
tell you, with the bike, with this purchase, it kind of forced me to become mechanically savvy.
Hmm.
When I bought it, the guy's like, "Now, understand you're buying this as is." I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "Alright, just does it run?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah, it runs." Awesome. So, by this point, I didn't have my license yet. I was going through the motorcycle safety course, which would lead up to getting my license. Had my buddy come with me, he was gonna ride the bike back. Coming down that highway, he opened the throttle all the way, and it bogged down on him. Like, "The hell's going on?" And so we got it to the house, did a bunch of research, and it found out it could have been, one of 3 things. Could have been a bad fuel pump, a bad fuel filter, or the carburetor was incredibly dirty, even though the guy said he cleaned it recently. So, like, "Alright, how do we fix this?" If we took it to a shop, it was gonna cost me, like, easily 700, 900, maybe even $1,000 to get all of the things I just mentioned fixed. I went ahead and purchased a Haynes manual for my year, for my bike. I was like, we're just gonna get into this. On the research that I found, turns out, yep, it was a bad fuel pump. So, took the thing apart, got in there, got all greasy and whatnot, and if you're familiar with the consistency of peanut butter, that was what was on the inside of my fuel pump, because the bike sat for about a year. I'm like, "Oh, oh, this is
I
bad."
don't know a lot, but that doesn't sound natural.
No, no. So for any of you out there watching right now, and if you're, mechanic savvy like I'm getting to be, you're probably nodding your head and going, "Yep, I know exactly what the hell that is." It was bad.
That's cum.
So, got the new fuel pump, in there, got the new fuel filter in there, and then in order to get to it, we had to take the carburetor out. Here's where I made a mistake, which I fixed later on. Putting the carburetor back together, there was this funky little pin that sat about here. One of the brass fittings actually went underneath where it was supposed to be underneath the spring. I didn't
Dude.
catch that. Because it's a twin carb system, when we fired it back up, only one carb was firing, so it wasn't performing as it should. So I went back in, rebuilt the carburetor once again, fired up normally, and it's been running great ever since.
Now, how much was, and I've been learning how to communicate in this language. For the thrifty shopper, how much was that?
I probably spent in total, to include a new battery as well,
Mhm.
and air filter, about $400.
$400 versus $1,000. Now you are taken. You're off the market. You're married. Am I correct in that? I know
That
you're
is
no
correct.
longer available, but that would have been you would have been a hell of a catch for a gal that needs some sort of like a value. Anyways, depending on. So you were talking about getting overwhelmed. Is there a project, kind of, maybe it's a trope, maybe it's a type, maybe it's a first person instead of third, maybe it's got a particular type of character. Is there a project that's easier for you to get from one side to the other? Something that you really, I've got this coming up in my schedule. I know it's not going to be a struggle to get in there and just knock this out. I can fly. I can get X number of hours done per day and never worry. What type of project is that for you?
For me, that would have to be, thrillers. Oddly enough, when I first got into this business, I thought it was gonna be, sci-fi and fantasy, given my background in D&D and D and whatnot, and so I love that stuff. but for some reason, my voice has been catered to and or drawn to, if you will, the thriller genre, which I'm not opposed to. Got some great thriller books that are out there, and I'd love to read them all if I could. Um, and then my wife kinda pokes and prods at me, she goes, "You should really do more romance." I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Because you're good at it?" Alright,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can see that.
The voice is perfect. It's a thriller though, which is such a fantastic genre. There's so many things that you can do, and especially there's always the I guess archetypal would be the word for it, the archetypal villain.
Yeah,
You get to play in a thriller. Now, sometimes have you found the dual identity character that you have to play in a thriller where you have to act a certain way in front of everyone else, use a similar type of voice, maybe even and hide in different scenes as the same character as the evil villain? Have you had to play that dual thing?
not yet. I
It's
know
a
it's
trip.
coming, though.
Yeah, good luck with it. It's so much fun. No, I'm just teasing. It's so much fun. You're absolutely. Um, and by the way, people are chiming in, and specifically, I got to say, Lissa Gramling as well as chiming in, saying you are great at erotica. Someone else is asking, as an intro to your work, what would you suggest? And I know this person is into romance, and not necessarily the filthier the better, but they do like that sort of thing.
What was the beginning of the question? As a what?
As an intro to your work, what would
Mhm.
you suggest? And mind you,
As
if everyone doesn't know, I've only got James Cheatham, which look at that, I got that right that time up on the screen. But as well, he's Griswold Addams. This is Griswold Addams right here, as you can tell by the beard. Um, anyways, so the as an intro to your work, what would you suggest?
as an intro to my work, as far as getting into the business, or are you talking
No,
about how I prep my day?
no, as an intro to like somebody that's never listened to you, what book would you recommend?
Ah.
And you see, D, I know I got you pegged. I mean, I'm not pegging you, D, and you're not pegging me, but I got you pegged. She was asking for the taste is basically romance with a
I
a
gotcha,
touch
I
of
gotcha.
a fat side of erotica, maybe.
So, my latest one that I've done is actually really well done. It's called Demon's Game. It's book 2 in the Demon's Mate or Demon Mates series. It's up on Audible. You can go check it out now, under my pseudonym Griswold Addams. But probably the most entertaining series that I've done. I've only done like a small handful of them, and some of the listeners and watchers know fully well where I'm going with this. But it was like a murder mystery romance series of the Nikki Abundanza and I forget the name of it, but you have it's the drama series. So Drama Luau, Drama Castle, and all those other ones
I
by
think I
Joe
remember.
Cosentino.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I think I remember the covers for those.
Yep,
The Luau Detective, Noah,
that's the one. Yeah,
Tracy,
Nikki and
Tracy's.
Noah, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is freaking awesome. If someone were to, and I don't know, if someone were to want to book you at this point, you say you're going out for September, that sort of thing, or at least you should be fairly soon, correct?
Right. I am
Um,
booked out until um, right now, as it stands, until the first week of July.
yeah.
The rest of July, and then like 2 weeks in August, I'm open, and then after that, I'm wide open.
And how much of that is split between, romance, romance versus, other projects, nonfiction, the thriller stuff, what everything else that you're doing?
Yeah, let's see. I've got two romances coming up. One is Breaking the Ice, and then the follow up to that, On Thin Ice. I've got another short story romance, which will complete a 5 book series from Blackstone. Excuse me. I need to get some tea like you suggested earlier.
You have calm in your throat is what it is. I
Oh,
think, by
stop
the way, that
sharing
your
my
wife is,
secrets.
I think your wife is right, by the way. I think that you do have a voice for the romance as well. But I'm sure the thriller stuff is going to be fantastic. So it
Yeah,
sounds like you've got a lot of romance coming up.
that I do. I'm
Excellent.
this week I'm finishing up 2 thrillers. One will complete a trilogy, and the other one will complete a duet. which ironically enough, those 2 books fall into a universe of 2 other books written by the same author, which is always fantastic. And then I've
Oh
got a
yeah.
nonfiction coming up, I think the 2nd week of June, so that'll be fun.
Mm. You, dude, you're slamming it. I'm proud of you. You're killing it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, yeah. And it's good to see you pop in occasionally in Discord. It's good to see a familiar face. Tell me about tell me, and I don't know if this is too personal or not, but is everything at the house all right? The wife, the kids, everything,
Oh, yeah.
pets, everybody's healthy, everybody's good, everybody's happy.
Yeah, everybody's good to go. We,
Good, man.
just recently tore down our swing set in the backyard because it was old, it was rickety, hardly anybody was using it, and when they did, you can hear the termites rejoicing because they knew it was gonna break anytime soon. So I said, "You know what? To prevent further injury, let's tear it down, and in its space, we're actually going to create individual garden plots for our kids." And so I'm thinking to get the, used pallets that some construction stores will just kind of leave laying around, and my wife's and I idea is to give each kid their own individual garden plot, so that way they will be fully responsible for the
That's
condition of
good
the
because what
soil.
I thought you were talking about at first, I thought you were talking about a funeral plot. And well, I think that's a very advanced way of thinking. It was also kind of weird. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
I don't have that many enemies yet.
I was like, but he's really well. I mean, that's well thought out as far as that goes. I mean, the kids, right? But I mean, good Lord, what did those kids do to you? So, no, no, no. Garden plot, that's a very healthy endeavor. I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I mean, they'll be fully responsible for everything, the care, the maintenance, the soil condition, what they wanna plant, weed removal, all of that fun stuff.
Dude, that's
And
awesome.
I wanna use pallets because I did some research and rabbits hate those damn things, can jump at a maximum of 36 inches. So if I get pallets, they can't jump, and I'm very proud of that, and matter of fact, I've got a lot of sympathy for Farmer McGregor and that Peter Rabbit, little bastard.
McGregor. That's
I
fantastic.
lost 5 fig trees to those punks.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh,
We've raccoons. Those are our problem around here. Do you get the
ooh,
raccoons around your place in Iowa? I bet you do.
not often, at
Really?
least not that
That's
I know
not
of.
that's not a thing with you guys, man. Here, the raccoons are those are sneaky little fuckers, and they got hands and a face that remind you of a little human. So they're kind of,
Yep,
but then they get all freaky at the end. So you don't want to. It's like
right.
gremlins, but you don't want to get close. Dude, you've been fantastic. Thank you for hanging out. Can you
Yeah,
tell us
man.
what you've got coming up as far as the immediate project next? I think you've done it before, but I want to tag it on the end here, and I'm kind of hoping someone, Emma or someone like that, can maybe toss maybe a link up there to your Audible or something like that too. We'll do the
Sure.
same on YouTube.
So let's see, coming up, like I said, I've got, Breaking the Ice and then On Thin Ice,
Excellent.
which are the 2 romances I've got coming up, and then the short story romance, which is called His Dancer, which will complete the 5th book in a 5-book short story romance series. All 5 books are from the perspective of a different brother in a mafia family who fall in love with their own individual girls and then likewise mates afterwards.
And I'm assuming you're going to be working on those in Discord as well.
No, I don't live stream in Discord anymore.
Not at all. That explains. I see you drop in occasionally, but I guess I haven't watched you. So, is there any place anybody can watch your work, or is that pretty much a done deal at this point? Is that
Nah, it's
the
pretty much a
Twitter?
done
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, I get it. All good. Thank you so much for hanging out. I know I missed some of the comments. If you can look in there, and obviously we're gonna get the links down there for some of your work too.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
you all. This is the easy part. All you got to do is wave bye to the camera. Love you guys. I will be streaming hopefully here after dinner. Have fun. Good luck.